There's a large part of the population, around 97%, who would never ever set foot in a casino or participate in any form of gambling for that matter, and yet every single day they roll the die at the roulette table of life. How? By not setting goals. There are several studies that have been done to prove this. Two of the most cited ones are the ones from Yale and Harvard. Yale, back in 1953, did a study where they followed and interviewed graduates for about 20 years, and then they found that the top 3% earned more money than the 97% combined. The only difference? The top 3% had written goals, and they also had a plan of action to achieve them. Similarly, Harvard Business School did a study back in 1979, and they found that other than to have fun and enjoy themselves, 84% of the class had no goals at all. 13% had goals, but they weren't written down, and then there was the remaining 3% had written goals and a plan of action. What were the results? Well, the 13% earned more than the 87% without goals, but the 3% who had written goals and a plan of action to achieve them earned more than 10 times the 97% combined. So it's kind of clear to me that this is a football mentality espoused by Vince Lombardi, and mastering the fundamentals of the game of life by setting goals is going to make you tremendously successful. Now, if that is true, and it is, it really begs the question, why do so many people not set goals? Well, there are several reasons for this, but I want to share 3 quick ones with you. And the first is a fear of failure. It's perhaps the most common obstacle to goal setting. Most people don't set goals because they're worried they might not hit the goal. And they also fear what others will think of them, the fact that others may ridicule them if they don't hit the goals. They figure that if they don't try, then guess what? They can't fail. But that's foolish thinking, isn't it? It is true that, by not trying, they can't fail, but it's also true that there's no way in God's green earth they'll succeed either. I say all the time, if you do nothing, that's exactly what you get. Nothing. Number 2 is a fear of success. And it may sound bizarre, but it is true. Some people really do fear success. Somehow, they have developed the belief that it is wrong, maybe even sinful for them to pursue their desires and strive for greatness. Or they again think foolishly if they succeed, they'll be forced to keep succeeding and to take on new responsibilities and so on. And so, they sabotage themselves, man. They sabotage themselves. They make a concerted effort to significantly live below and perform below their full potential so they wouldn't stand out from the crowd. Their success, they sacrifice their own success so that they can be just like everybody else. And number 3, the lack of personal responsibility. Look, there are lots of things that you and I have absolutely no control over, right? We didn't control and could not control who our parents were, the neighborhood we were raised in, the school we went to, the weather, the economy, etc., etc. The fact that we're dealing with a global pandemic is proof positive, right? However, that doesn't absolve you of the responsibility to take charge of your life by setting goals. Failing to take responsibility for your life and the direction it's going by setting goals leaves you powerless and helpless, absolutely powerless, to do anything about the situation you find yourself in. Emerson said it best. He says, no one can cheat you out of ultimate success but yourself. So yes, there are all these things that you have absolutely no control over, but just look throughout history and you're going to find men and women who didn't allow all these circumstances, the situations, the unsavory situations that they find themselves in to prevent them from setting and achieving goals. And I like to point to Helen Keller, who was rendered deaf, blind, and mute by illness at 19 months, but yet she was able to accomplish so many things throughout her life, so much more than people who had all the faculties that with them, right? So the question is, what about you? Do you have fears that are preventing you from setting and achieving goals? Well, if you do, I want you to write them down. I want you to dissect them. Can you see how insane these reasons are? You can see that, can't you? Now that you have gotten that out of the way, I want you to get another sheet of paper and I want you to start writing down some goals as well. As I said in my previous video, you're going to see how amazing and how powerful an impact that is going to have on your life. Until we connect next time, I am Devon Harris, and yeah, man, keep on pushing.